Hi everyone, Carol Macrae at Mind Body Magic in Dubbo. Now we're going to do part 2 of psychic protection and how we use psychic protection, or the reasons we would use psychic protection. So in part 1, I talked about the need to use psychic protection when we're with people that perhaps are a little toxic, that might drain our energy. So we can put psychic protection up, see a bubble around us before we even meet them. If we've got Reiki, if you've done Reiki training, you can use your Reiki protection symbol and put that around you so that there's a definite separation between their energy and yours. I also talked about a schizophrenic client I had who came in to quit smoking, and it turned out that he had some attachments, and they were not very nice ones, but we were able to get rid of them. And my last video cut off because the phone was completely full, and cut off just at the point where I was about to tell you that after we did the clearing of this fellow, got rid of the lost souls, 18 months later I ran into him in the supermarket, and he told me that he had not had any of those voices since the work we did. So it does lead us to the question that could some mental health issues simply be attachments? So when we talk about attachments, we can talk about the negative ones, but we can also realize if you have an understanding of past lives and energy, which we will be talking about in a couple of days on my Facebook group. But what you'll realize is that sometimes the soul does not go straight to the light. It doesn't realize that it's passed over, and it will hang around the earth plane. And sometimes it has a need that it's still trying to get met. So for example, I've had people who have suddenly, been in a car accident or something, and then the next thing, when they've come through that, they've got this craving for McDonald's and alcohol or whatever. And it turns out when we've done some work, there's this other energy that's attached to them, and it was a soul that didn't know that it passed over. So we just release it to the light. Now, a week ago, I had another client ring me, or another friend off Facebook contact me, and she said, could she come and see me? And what we also did was we released a ghost that had kind of been coming to her and trying to get a message to her to tell her how sorry he was for the things that he had done, in her husband's business. And she will probably know who this is when she hears this story. But we were able to easily release that gentleman after we let him share what he needed to say, and that was how sorry he was, and explain the circumstances of why he made the decisions he made. And it was just a beautiful thing as he went into the light. And that is a lot of the stuff. Well, it's not the main thing. Mainly I'm working with anxiety and depression, but sometimes these things come up. And when I did my training with Calbanian in America, he basically said, we don't even advertise spirit releasement on our website. However, if you do hypnosis long enough, it's probably going to come up for you, so you should do the training and be prepared. And it has come up a few times, quite a few times now, over the last however long, how many years I've been doing this work. And it's just been invaluable to be able to help beings cross over and release them, but also to free my clients up from things that are not theirs, energies that they don't need or want. And so when we're talking about psychic protection, there are lots of things that we can do. We can use the Reiki Bubble that we talked about, and the bubble is just imagining you're in a white light and imagining that surround you. But there are other things that we can use too, and I've got a recording of MP3s I'm going to link in my Facebook groups, but also if once I get this on YouTube, I'll pop a link in the bottom of that, or alternatively I will try to get those recordings over to MP4 files so that they too can be stored on Facebook so anybody can use them. So another thing that we use is a thing called a smudge stick. Now, lots of people in the spiritual world, and I'm talking about new age people and old age people and people from different cultures, use a smudge stick. And it does come from the Red Indian tradition. And what you do is you light the end of that. You can see this has been used. and I always hold it over a bowl, and then I've got a fan, a beautiful Chinese fan I use, and you fan the smoke around the room in a clockwise direction. You make sure that all the windows and doors are open so that if there's any negative energy in there, it can be released. So that might just be stale energy, it might be something negative, but it will lift, the sage will lift the vibration of the room, and it will clear anything out that doesn't need to be there, because negative energies don't like the higher vibration. And that's a really easy one. You can grab a smudge stick from the Red Earth shop, and I think Christy Semin also has them in her Mind Soul Sync studio, which is down the hall from my office. And there are a few other places that you can purchase them as well, and they're just a handy thing to have around. They do suggest you smudge your house once a month. So if you don't have Reiki symbols that you can just use a smudge stick, and that works really well. You can smudge people as well. And of course the Australian Aboriginal people, the culture from our Aboriginal culture is to use gum leaves and smoke people or smoke places to clear negative energies or entities there, or spirits. And so there are lots of different things that you can use. In my Psychic Protection MP3s, I'm going to guide you through a meditation, which I did record during a Reiki workshop, to help you to put a really strong boundary around your aura. And the way we do it is to imagine a sun coming out from the center of the solar plexus, which is your point of personal power, and imagine all those golden rays flowing out to surround you, so that you're basically sitting, standing, or lying within this beautiful sphere of golden light. And think about the sun's rays coming from that center, and then spin it in any direction that works best for you. It might be clockwise, anti-clockwise, top to bottom, whatever. Simply because if they're going to be things that attach, they often attach at the back of the solar plexus, because that's your point of personal power, but it also is a place that you're not looking because it's behind you. And as you spin those rays in all directions, it will weld over any tears in your aura and just form a really nice strong boundary protection around that. The next layer, about 30 centimeters out, is a layer of like a mirror ball, so it's directed out. And the intention behind that, as you get it spinning, I know you can have a disco dance if you want to, but the intention is that if anybody's sending negative thoughts to you, negative energy, bad wishes, all we want to do is reflect them back. And our intention is, I now return back to you that which belongs to you. Go in peace, and we let that go back to wherever it's come. That's called karma. And the third layer outside that is a layer of a multifaceted diamond, so that it cuts any psychic cords or any cords of intention or negative thought forms or cords from other people or other times and places. And as it slices through them, as it's spinning too, it will just give you a triple layer of protection. And then from there, if we still feel like we're threatened, if we're in a dark place where we don't know where we are, if we're still feeling threatened, we can then imagine whatever a symbol of protection is for you, and that might be a Christian cross, because many of us will do the sign of the cross if we're feeling a bit worried, or we feel like we're threatened about other energies around. And you could send that out in millions of directions. In Reiki, we could send the Reiki protection symbol, send thousands out in all directions. And then, again, that gives some level of psychic protection. And if you're still feeling threatened, it's recommended that you use thousands of daggers pointing outwards. And just remember, if there's a negative energy or entity around that's trying to attach, it's not going to come to somebody that's very protected. It will find somewhere else to go. And our aim is to make sure that you are protected. And with that form of psychic protection, the triple layers, you can put that around your house, around your bed, around your office, and imagine the sphere going all the way down through the earth to give you protection in all directions. And you can also say, I'm now divinely protected in all directions through time and space. And that will give you protection into the future as well. So they're just a few little ideas that you can use to work on protection. My MP3 will also give you some more. And I hope that's been helpful. And we will talk about some more of this over the next few days. In my Facebook group, and anything else I record, I'll pop up on Facebook, because there are certainly some other stories I could tell you that would probably make your toes curl. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you very much for listening. I hope you're enjoying the journey of self-discovery as we work on protecting ourselves from other people's negativity, other energies, other entities, and just come back to the self, always coming back to the self, making sure that we're always fully grounded. And you might do that through visualizing tree roots going from the soles of your feet down to the earth mother, and also connecting to the energies of the heavens. So imagine a beautiful lotus flower facing up, drawing in the sun's energy, so that man is then suspended between all forms of energy on the planet. Heaven and earth become one. So have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Love and blessings.